Hello everybody and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how you can make a data pack for Minecraft Java Edition. And yeah, basically it's actually pretty simple, so just make sure you follow along and we'll get right to it. So first off, you just want to be on your PC, laptop, whatever. You want to press Windows R right here, and then you want to type in %, app data, and then another %. Once you've done that, you can hit enter or just click OK, just like that, and you should end up in this folder. If you don't, you're going to be over here, but either way, you want to make sure that you end up in roaming. In this folder, one of the top folders is going to be a folder called .minecraft, and this is going to be the exact one that you're going to want to enter. So we can double click on that, and then we're in here now. So once you're in here, you want to look for a folder called versions. I've found it right down here, beautiful. And now what we're going to have here is all the versions that we've loaded up for Minecraft before. So this is every single version I've ever loaded up, and that I have loaded up and haven't deleted. And basically here is where you're going to want to select the version that you want to make your pack for. Yeah. And in this case for me, it's just 1.19.4. Now, something pretty important is that, you know, if you don't find the version that you want here, then you want to make sure that you just go over to the Minecraft launcher, launch up whatever version you want, and then you should have your version in there. So once you're here, you should see 2 or 3 things, probably just these 2. So the .jar and the .json. You want to make sure that you can see this .jar and this .json. That's very important. To do that, if you can't see them, go over to View, Show, and make sure that File Name Extensions is ticked. This is very important, not only for now, but also for later on in the tutorial. Yeah, so you just want to make sure that you can see file name extensions. Anyways, once you've done that, you should be able to locate the jar file, right click on that, and then just copy it. Yeah, that's all we want to do. Just copy that, and then we can exit out of here. Now you can just exit to your desktop or to wherever you want, and you can just hit Ctrl V. And now I've pasted in this file I just copied, and this is what we're going to want to work with. Yeah, so we want to go over here, and we actually want to go ahead and rename this. Yeah, and then you want to just select this right here, and then remove the .jar from the end, just like so. Then you want to make sure that you replace it with .zip, that is .zip. Make sure you don't just add .zip to the end randomly, but make sure you actually replace the .jar. Then it's going to prompt you that if you change a file name extension, the file might become unusable. But we still want to change it, and now we have a zip folder right over here. That's great. We can enter this, and this is what we want, yeah? And now we want to be able to actually edit everything in here well. So then what we can do is we can right click this and then click on extract all. This is going to extract all the files. Then you can just click on extract again. This might take a minute or 5, also depending on how fast your device is. And now depending on your OS, you might not actually have the extract all option here. And if you don't, then you're just going to need to download a program called 7-zip or WinRAR. I'll link one of the 2 down in the description. And what that program is just simply going to allow you to do is to perform the action that I just did. Perfect. Everything has been extracted. So we're now left with a regular folder and a zip folder, and these are both going to be called whatever version you chose. We don't need the zip folder anymore, so we can put that into the recycling bin. We can throw that out, and now you can see there's going to be a lot of stuff in here. Yeah, and basically we do not need everything, so we can click we do not need this, we do not need this, and over here we don't need any of that, and we do not need anything under it either. So we can click on the meta inf folder, then scroll all the way down to the bottom, then hold down shift and click on the very bottom one. What that's going to do is that's literally going to select everything, so we now have 7,288 items selected. We can just delete all of those. Surprisingly enough, it's actually going to take a small while to delete. Basically, depending on your version that you chose to, there's going to be more or less items in here. Anyways, then all we really want is the data folder here, so we can delete the com and assets folders as well. Do that if you want, and we just want to be left with data right over here. That's what we want. Now that we're left with only the data folder, this is what we're going to start off with doing, and now we're basically going to make the data pack part of the data pack. That might sound weird, you might understand a bit better later. Anyways, now is your time to think, yeah, what you want your data pack to do. And we can just go into data here, and then into Minecraft, and here we have folders, and these folders contain files which we can edit and change. So here we have an advancements folder. We can change advancements, we can change damage types, we can change loot tables, crafting recipes, the world generation structures. We can change so much stuff. And now some things are more complicated than others, and basically loot tables is one of the simple ones, and so most of this is really self-explanatory, but loot tables is one of the simple ones. I'm going to be editing a loot table for the sake of this tutorial, and then you guys, I will make a more in-depth tutorial if you guys want me to, but you should be able to figure a lot of this out, yeah, especially after understanding the basics. So we can enter loot tables, and if you don't know what a loot table is, basically, loot tables say the amount of chance that you get something. So let's say you walk into a stronghold and you see a chest. What's the chance you get an apple? What's the chance you get a diamond? What's the chance you get some leather boots? Yeah, what's the chance you get a piece of bread? Basically, it's all that. Yeah? And now blocks have loot tables because you break blocks and you get certain things from them. Chests have loot tables because there are things inside chests, and whenever you open them, there's a different amount of chance that stuff is inside of the chests. Entities have loot tables. If you kill a zombie, do you get 1 rotten flesh? Do you get 2 or 3? Or maybe even do you get a carrot? Yeah, and then gameplay, that just contains some other loot tables there are. Basically, we're going to go into chests here, and now here are all the different types of loot tables for chests. And you'll recognize most of these. All of them have names, self-explanatory, as I was saying. Anyways, the next thing you need is a text editor, because these are all JSON files, and we're going to need a text editor to be able to edit this. Yeah, I am going to be using a Notepad++, so I can just open up one of these. Yeah, and I'm using a program called Notepad++. And you can use Notepad, you can use whatever text editor you want. However, Notepad++ is free. You can download it from the internet or from the Microsoft Store. It's literally 5 megabytes, and it really helps me with stuff like this because this is all purple. If I highlight one word, it highlights all the other words of that type. The numbers are yellow. Everything is neatly ordered. It looks how it's supposed to look. If you want to make it easier for yourself, I recommend to get it. Of course, not a must. So, basically, this is what a loot table is going to look like, and there are certain things here that you can change, and as you get more advanced and probably learn from yourself, you're gonna learn more about what you can change and why. Anyways, basically we're just gonna be focusing on the numbers here. Numbers are probably the easiest thing to change as of now, so we can just basically start reading this. It might look a bit intimidating at first, but let's start reading from here. Yeah, so the type, it's an item. Okay, so we know it's an item. Yeah, also basically for you guys, if you don't know stuff about code really, these things, these curly brackets, they really help. As you see, if I select this one, it turns red together with the other one. That means that these two are linked together, and that means that everything in between these is also linked together, which is pretty useful. Yeah, so basically we know that all of this works on the same thing, basically, and then all of this works on the same thing. Yeah, anyways, basically we can start here. So okay, it's an item. The count, yeah, so how much is count? How much is of this specific item is going to be inside the chest? It's going to be uniform, which means it's always the same, and it's going to have a maximum of 3 and a minimum of 1. Yeah, and the name of this is a diamond, and the weight is 3. So basically, what do we know now? In this part, it's talking about the chance you get a diamond. In the chest of a jungle temple, apparently, you can get a maximum of 3 diamonds and a minimum of 0. Just ignore the one there, the one here basically means 0. Yeah, so, and the weight. What the weight means, that is, you know, the chance that it actually happens. So if we scroll down a bit, we can see here, this is iron ingot. The weight of this is 10, which means that there is more than a 3 times the amount of chance that you get an iron ingot than that you get a diamond. Yeah, same thing here. So this is a golden ingot, and as you can see, there's an even bigger chance that you get a golden ingot than an iron ingot. Yeah, because the weight is higher, and you get a minimum of 2 golden ingots per jungle temple chests, and a maximum of 7. Yeah, so it's honestly not that hard. A tip I got for you guys is to sometimes just read over stuff. Yeah. And things basically just mean what they say. Don't get too intimidated, I suppose. Now you can start changing things. Yeah, so you can basically just change numbers, yeah? So the weight of this, I'm gonna make the weight 30. Which means there's now twice the amount of chance that you get a diamond and that you get a golden ingot, which means that we're probably going to get a lot of diamonds from this stuff. A minimum of, let's say, 5.0 diamonds, and a maximum of 9. That sounds pretty good to me. Now, there's one thing that you do need to watch out for when editing. It can be a lot of fun, and let's say I were to accidentally delete that comma there. By deleting that comma, this entire file becomes unreadable and it won't have any effect in-game in Minecraft. So you need to be really careful with what you edit and make sure you don't accidentally misclick. Anyways, I've had some fun here. I've changed these numbers. I can hit Ctrl S to save this, and that's good. This file has now been saved. Once we've completed the pack and stuff and import this into Minecraft, it's going to be pretty cool. We're going to get a bunch of diamonds from jungle temples. Now, there's also other things that you can change. Yeah, so for example, these names here. Yeah, that's basically the only other thing you can actually change if you want to keep it basic. This is a bit more advanced, but basically, in this case, the name is Minecraft Diamond because we're discussing the chance that a diamond spawns in here. What if I don't want diamonds, but I want leather boots? There we go. Now we have a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 9 leather boots per jungle temple chest. Yeah. So, you know, you can do all that stuff. You can change those names. Make sure you write them out correctly with the correct underscores and stuff like that where necessary. Anyways, I'm just gonna keep this at diamond, and then just hit Ctrl S to make sure I've saved anything, and then I can just click away. Now I could, for example, edit the desert pyramid. I can edit the bastions. I can really edit anything I want. And now these same rules do apply to basically everything else in here, although they all of course work slightly differently. I will make in-depth tutorials on each, but with a little bit of creativity you should be able to figure out what most things are. So now I've actually finished everything I want to edit in here, so I can exit out. And now you might be panicking because, oh my god, there's a new file here. The pack.mcmeta file. Now, this is something that you can download through the link in the description. There's going to be a series of links because you'll need this one and another one as well. I think this is going to be probably the top link, and you can just download this pack.mcmeta file. And we can open this up in the same way that you used to all the other files that you wanted to edit, yeah? Now do notice that this is a .mcmeta file, and if you can't open it up like I can, what you can do is you can rename it and replace the .mcmeta to .json. See, maybe it's easier for you to open. There's two things that we're gonna need to change. First off is the pack format. Yeah, the pack format is always a number, and this is gonna tell Minecraft what version of the game your pack is made for. For that, you are going to need to head to the second link in the description, which is going to bring you to the fandom Minecraft wiki page, that stuff, and then about the pack formats. Yeah, we want to scroll past the resource pack here until we find data pack. And here we can see values, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Depending on when you're watching this video, it might be 15 or 16 or 17 or 18. Yeah, basically you want to select the value that you are making your pack for. In my case, that is 12 because I'm making mine for 1.19.4. Perfect. So I just need to remember that. Now, I was lucky because my pack format over here was already 12. However, if it's for another version, just literally change it, just like that, maybe to 15, or maybe to 6. Yeah, anyways, mine is 12, so beautiful, very nice. Once you have that correct, what you can do is go over to the description. This is just going to be the description of your pack, and that's going to show up in Minecraft once you import it. So you can type anything here. I'm just going to be like made by It's Me 64. Subscribe, please. I'd greatly appreciate it. That would be very nice if you could do that. Anyways, this is just going to be your description. You can type here anything you want. Just make sure that it's in between these quotation marks. And just like before, if you, for example, accidentally delete a quotation mark, this entire thing's not going to work. So it's very important that you leave everything exactly as is. Once you've made the edits that you wanted to make, you can just hit Ctrl S to save. Then you can just exit out just like that, and you finished that. Now, if you did change this to .json, always remember to change it back to .mcmeta. Very important, .mcmeta. That's exactly what you want to call it. Next, we have an optional step, and that is adding a logo for your pack. You don't need to add a logo or icon for your pack to be able to work. However, it can be a nice touch. Anyways, here I've got my logo. I've put it in right here. It's basically my channel logo, and this is going to be the icon for my pack. It's right now called itsme64.jpg, and there's a few things that we need to change to this. First off, you can, for example, open it up in Paint 3D or whatever image editing program you have, and you want to make sure that your image is perfectly square. Mine already is, so that is great. If it's not square, it's either gonna get cut off or stretched inside of Minecraft, and you probably don't want that. Anyways, once you know that it is square, there's some other things that we want to change. To make sure this works as a logo, we are going to need to rename this. And it's very important that it is called pack. Nothing but pack. No capital letters, no spaces, just pack. And then there's actually a second thing we want to do, and for that you want to once again rename this. Now, depending on the image you have, you might not actually need to do this, but as you can see, mine is a .jpg file. So I'm gonna need to change it. Yeah, if yours is not a PNG file, you're gonna need to edit it. Yeah, so just as we did earlier with the .jar file, remove the JPG from the end and replace it with .png. Once again, you're gonna get this pop-up here. You can just click on yes. And now, once we've edited everything, we wanna make sure this is pack.png. Perfect. If it is literally called that, no capital letters and no nothing else, then you're good. Very important also to make sure that it's called .png. Yeah, if it is another type of image file, it's not actually going to work as an icon, sadly. Anyways, now that we've done that, we've completed all the data, we've edited everything we want to edit, we've completed this file, and we've even gotten a logo or icon. Well, now the pack is basically complete, and we can work on importing this into Minecraft. To import it, first we actually need to turn it into a pack we can import. So select everything, and you can do that by just pressing Ctrl A or selecting everything like so. Then you want to right click and click on compress the zip file. Just as before, depending on your operating system, you might need a program like 7-zip to be able to do this. However, we can just compress this to a zip file just like so. It's gonna compress everything, and now here we got a zip file. And you can name this. You can name it whatever you want. I'm just gonna call this It's Me 64's tutorial data pack. You can have spaces, you can have capital letters here. That doesn't matter. You can name it whatever you want. Also, one quick thing for you guys. So my pack over here, right, you can actually download the pack I made in today's tutorial through a link in the description if you want to. That can be useful if you, for example, just want a reference pack to work with, then I definitely recommend downloading that. Once we have it, we can just drag it to our desktop over here, and this is actually our completed pack. Now we are going to go ahead and import this, and for that we're just going to go ahead and launch Minecraft. Make sure you launch the version of Minecraft that you made your data pack for. In my case, that is just 1.19.4, of course. And now, if you already know how to import data packs, then that's absolutely fine. However, I'm just gonna walk through this with you guys. So, we got Minecraft over here, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go to single player here. We're just gonna create a new world, and I'll call this data pack test. Let's just go creative sheets on. There we go, and then we can just create the new world right now. And once you've created that, it's obviously just going to load. And as soon as it loads, really, we can just exit right back out, just like so. Then going into single player, you want to select whatever world. Also, this doesn't need to be a new world, by the way. You can also enable it on an existing world. Then you want to go ahead and select the edit button down in the bottom left. Once you have that, you want to open up your world folder. In here, you're gonna find basically a bunch of different folders. And in your world folder, you'll find the folder that we need. In this case, it's the data packs folder. Obviously, because we are making a data pack. Exactly. Yeah, so you can just go into there and then you can drag this in. There we go. If you don't want to drag it in, you can also just copy it and paste it in. That way you'll still also have a version on your desktop, which you can also put into other worlds and stuff like that. Yeah. Anyways, once you have done that, you can basically just click away this folder and click on save. Then you can load right back into your world. Anyways, you're basically using experimental settings because you're loading a data pack, and now I obviously know what I'm doing, so we can load up into this world. Now in a second, I'm going to go ahead and check out a jungle temple and check out the loot in there. However, I just quickly wanted to talk about editing this afterwards. So obviously we made this pack, and what you can do is, if you want to change things or edit them, you can just literally go back into data and change anything you want. Once you've done that, you can reselect all these, compress them to a zip file, and just re-import them. And remember to remove the old packs so they don't clash, but they'll be absolutely fine. Yeah? So anyways, let's head back to game / locate structure jungle pyramid. Oh boy, it's a jungle temple. I wonder what kind of stuff we have inside the chests here. So let's just enter that through the side wall, of course, and let's get killed by the trap as well. Anyways, let's just run through here and check the chest. Whoa, look at that. We got ourselves a casual 5 diamonds from that. Now, because I didn't change anything else, we still have the bones and bamboo as usual. But basically, you can change that, you can edit that, you can, I could have turned this bamboo into more diamonds. The possibilities are endless, and because of that, things can be complicated sometimes as well. So if you have any questions, oh my god, I forgot this was my skin. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those down below. I can imagine you do. I'm gonna make way more tutorials on stuff like this in the future, so keep track of those. You can learn more. Definitely teach yourself stuff. It honestly isn't that hard as you think. However, for right now, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you all again in the next one. Bye bye.